Hey, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up? A gracious good morning to you good people. It's your girl KB. You know what I do and you know why I do it. It's Monday morning, it's September 8th, and it's 2:54 in the a.m. I want to share a couple, two, three things with you, if I may. Things that happened over the weekend, and I attempted to post a video on Friday, but I ran out of time, so I'm going to follow up on that. Yeah, so just very interesting weekend. First, I had placed this reclining chair outside. I'm redoing my office, making things more compact and portable, so I can put stuff away and organize my little tiny space if need be. Okay, just make stuff look neater. Storage containers, if you will. Anywho, so I put this recliner. That's my office chair. It has a back massager, or it had a back massager built in. Everything worked. No rips in the vinyl. It just started to take up space, and I was starting to store things on it. You know, that chair in your room that has everything on it. And I didn't want to do that. So I put it outside. It sat outside for a week. Normally when I put something outside, a neighbor will come by and snatch it up. But it sat outside for a week. It was starting to collect leaves, tree sap that had fallen on it. So I took that, a file cabinet, and another table that I had my t-shirt press on, that I had mounted a power strip on. I took all that to the Goodwill. Now, my friend has this saying, you can't give a little person a big job. So I go to the donation center. This man watches me take that recliner out of my trunk. He says, we're not taking that. I said, okay, fine. Do you know of another place where I can drop it off? No, just very gruff. He took the desk and he took the little mini file cabinet. I spent good money on that little file cabinet, but it couldn't hold the weight of the vinyl material, so it would tip over and have a bruise on my foot because of that. Now, maybe 2-3 weeks old. I should have looked at the weight capacity before I even purchased it. I believe I did, but you know, it's one of those things, oh, it's cute, I'll get it. Anywho, I dropped off the desk in the file cabinet. So I drive around in the warehouse district. I was either going to give it to a homeless person, excuse me, they use the phrase unhoused now, who had their little camper set up, or I was going to leave it in the area where I know somebody would pick it up, because bottom line, it's a pretty impoverished area. But I saw another Goodwill truck, and I forgot there was a Goodwill store. And have any of you been to the Goodwill lately? Goodwill acts like now it's a major retailer. They have an online store. The prices are ridiculously high. And I remember as a kid growing up, impoverished. Poor y'all. Let me just keep this 100. I remember as a kid, we would go there to get clothes because they were gently used and they were cheap. But now, like I said, it feels like they think they can charge major retail prices. And I know most of that goes to salaries. But I digress. So I see people unloading the truck and I say, hey, can I drop this off here? The gentleman tells me, oh, you'll have to go to the front of the store. Now I'm already dreading because of my last experience. But I go in And the salesman was dealing with somebody that was yelling at him that returned something and thought they were going to get cash back, and all they got was store credit. The man was yelling, well, I paid cash. I should get cash back. They went back and forth for some time, but, as the man was storming out of the store, I said, hey, do you have any use, before I unloaded, do you have any use for a reclining, like, gamer's chair with a built-in massager? He said, I don't see why not. I quick, fast, and in a hurry unloaded that chair and took it into the store. No problem. I didn't ask for a receipt, nothing. I just dropped it off. I've had that chair for about 5 years. And again, it was in immaculate condition. But prior to that, when I was loading my trunk outside of my house, my neighbor decides he wants to engage me. Now, he doesn't or hasn't spoken to the folks who live above me in quite a while, but every time he sees me, he's very cordial. So he decided he wanted to engage me, and he was talking about having his catalytic converter stolen from under his car right in front of his house. And I was asking if he has a camera, and I told him, a couple of the other neighbors, like across the street, have cameras. I don't bother anybody. And as I shared previously, my apartment was called an in-law. Now, in-laws are usually illegal apartments in this city. But you can build one as long as you leave the garage door intact. If the house was built with a garage, you leave the garage, the facade of your building intact. You can have a single meter. That's the part that's illegal. The single meters and dividing the utility, but no one has to know that you have another unit, a rental unit, as long as you leave that garage door there where they can't see the apartment inspectors. Okay, anywho, we're having this back and forth exchange while I'm loading my car. Not once did the man ask, hey, you need help? While we're talking. So I continue to load my car, and I'm yeah-yeah-ing him. And I know that was a little rude of me. But I'm busy, and you want to just converse. You're not asking me if I need assistance. You want to tell me about your woes. Okay, cool. I'm sorry this happened to you. I'm asking about cameras. I'm telling them which neighbors have cameras that I know of. Go talk to other neighbors. And we're having this back and forth. Now it's time to close my trunk. And I want to make sure I don't break out the back window as I close the trunk. So I'm trying to measure and keep my hand there and, make sure this trunk closes good. Then the latch catches. While I'm chatting with him, I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing. And I slam my fingers in the trunk. He's still talking. I'm like, ow, 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 ow. And I open the trunk. And my fingertip is purple. I don't know if you can see the bruise, but there you go. And there's a crease across the nail. There you go. So it was pretty ripped up. And I'm shaking my hand. And it's like, okay, gotta go now. Gotta go now. Now, for the most part, I've hurt my hands before. No biggie. But as I'm driving, this bad boy starts pulsating. And I'm like, oh my God. Am I going to have to get a cold drink and just get the ice and stick my finger? But I'm like, I got to get this done. So, drive all the way across town. Then I have the Goodwill experience with the man that's power tripping. And again, the quote is, you can't give a little person a big job, because he was truly power tripping by the way he, decided what he was going to take, like it was going in his own home. But hey, that's a subject that, will mess up my Monday if I give it too much energy. Anywho, my finger's pulsating. I get everything done. I get home. The whole experience took an hour because I had to drive across town to the Goodwill drop-off to make sure everything got where it needed to be, and there was no, hey, does this belong to you, bring back kind of stuff. So, got that all done. As I get back in the house, my finger's really hurting. It's super sore today. Anytime I touch it, it's like an electric charge goes through my entire hand. But I'm going to make whatever happen, or whatever that needs to happen today. And let's see what the day takes us.